Hi guys, hi everyone. Good evening. So I'm waiting for rest of the people to join maybe, and then we will start our session. Okay. So just give me a minute as well. I will set up my things and then start accordingly. Okay. Hello guys, hi everyone. Hello Nisar, hi, hi. How is everyone doing? Hello. So let's wait few minutes, guys. Hi Sukhdeep, hi Harsh, hi everyone. So everyone, please share this video, share this link with your friends so that we can start this session. Okay, let's wait. Hi Samir, I guess I am pronouncing your name correctly, right? Hi Samir, I guess, right? Samir. Perfect. So how is everyone doing? Everyone doing good? It's Jonty. Okay, got it. Hi Jonty. Hi Pranjul. Hi Simranjit. Hello. Hi, good evening. Good evening everyone. How is everyone doing? Everyone doing good? Perfect. Please, I request all of you to please share this video with your friends, with your college mates, okay, so that we can start with this session and maximum people can get benefit from this. Okay. In today's class, we will be discussing about JavaScript arrays. We will be discussing about array methods, and that's what we are. That's what the agenda for today's class is. Okay, but I'm requesting all of you to please share this session link with your friends and your college groups. Okay, so I request you for that, and then we can start accordingly. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so I hope someone is going to give me a confirmation as well that whether my screen is visible or not, right? Everyone is here, right? Everyone is here, right? Perfect. So let's start our class, guys. If you remember, in our previous class that happened 2 days ago, we started something very important, right? We try to understand over there how exactly our JavaScript works, how exactly my browser is going to treat the JavaScript inside an HTML file as well. We understood what the call stack is, we understood what the execution context is, and we understood a lot of other things related to JavaScript. Although that is not the entire picture, because there are some other cases as well. We have seen some very basic example of what actually happens. It's not like we have covered everything related to call stack and execution context, but for that maybe we will have a separate video or separate course in which we will simply discuss how exactly JavaScript works. It can be also of 2 3 videos as well, but let's see what when we can do that. Today's agenda is that we are going to discuss about arrays. Okay, if you all remember, in our first or second discussion we discussed about non-primitive data types, right? What did we discuss? We discussed about non-primitive data types. So we understood that not actually non-primitive, we discussed about there are two types of primitive as well as non-primitive. But in today's class we'll be starting our first non-primitive data type, which is arrays. Okay, let's try to understand what arrays are. Let's try to create a scenario over here. Okay, so you all know that until now, whenever we were supposed to actually store a variable, right, what we did is we actually simply created a variable and stored whatever the value we wanted, right? Guys, I want please and please, I request all of you to be a little bit active in the chat as well, okay, so that we can move a little bit forward and start our class properly. Okay, so if you remember, let's try to create a scenario. What I'm trying to do is I am trying to store my marks. And in order to store these marks, what I will do is I will have to understand how many subjects I have. And how many subjects do I have? Let's suppose there are 4 subjects that I am talking about. In first subject, I have 100 marks. Okay, because I'm topper in that subject. In second, it's 90. In third, it's 80. In fourth, it's 70. Now, my question to all of you is, if you I wanted to simply store these four in a memory location, how are you going to do that? You are going to simply try to create 4 variables, maybe var a, var b, var c, var d. But although this is completely acceptable as well, you can create these 4 different memory locations, and all of them values are going to be stored inside the memory functions as well, inside the memory space as well. But the problem is all of them, can I say, are related to each other, है ना? Because this is marks as well of one subject, this is another, this is another, this is another. So would you want that inside your memory one mark should be stored over here, another over here, another maybe over here, another maybe over here, which means you would never prefer to store some related data in different memory locations. So in this case, what we would prefer is, we would prefer to actually create something inside our memory that will take contiguous memory location. Maybe this is my first, this is my second, this is my third, this is my fourth, depending on what my requirements is. So inside our JavaScript or inside most of the programming languages, every programming language, I would say, actually gives you a, a benefit over there, gives you a small, what I can say is a concept over there, in which what you can do is you can store a data but in a contiguous memory locations. And whenever this is a requirement, what you are going to do is you are going to simply create an array. So array is nothing but a non-primitive data type, with which, in which what we do is we store our list of items that are related to each other. Maybe it's not necessary they'll be related as well, but in most of the times they will be related. So we can store list of items. That will be the appropriate, definition over here. Now, how do we define an array? For example, if I have defined these four variables, I will simply say var a is equals to 10, right? Var b is equals to 20. Similarly, var c over there is equals to 30, and so on and so forth. This is what I am going to do if I have multiple data over there. But remember, if I have to define over there an array, I don't have to create three memory locations. No, I will simply define a variable over there, name them whatever I want. In this example that I took, it is going to be, let's suppose, marks. Now, what is the symbol we create? For example, if you remember, whenever we defined our primitive data type, whether it was integer, whether it was a string, a boolean, or something else, we simply put a value in front of it. But whenever we are creating an array over there, we will store the contiguous items over there inside a square bracket. So it is going to be inside a square bracket over there, then whatever my items are, item 1, item 2, item 3, so on and so forth. Similarly over here, I will create, let's suppose the first mark is 100, second is 90, comma third is 80, comma fourth is 70. So am I right now creating four different memory locations to store these? No, but right now I can say inside my memory over there will be only one memory location that will be of a, in which I will have simply contiguous data that is stored inside this marks, actually not a but marks location. So 100 will be here, 90 will be here, 80 will be here, 70 will be here. Although I can store all of these four separate values in four different variables as well, but in that case one memory location will be here, one will be here, one will be here, and we won't be able to perform operations properly over there. Because when you create an array, it is not actually, guys, just about defining an array, but when you define this array, it actually gives you lot of options, lot of operations that you can perform on this particular array data structure that we have. Now let's move forward. Since we have created an array, we have always and always first try to access that particular memory location. In this case, this array. So if I simply write console.log marks, you can automatically see, if I execute it, it displays this array properly, right? Perfectly fine. But right now, if you see inside the output window, you can see there's single value which contains four different items over there. But what if you simply want to access a single value out of that array? Maybe you are interested in this 80, or maybe you are interested in 100, or whatsoever the value, but only single value. What are you going to do in that case? Remember, whenever we talk about arrays over there, these array items can be accessed over there with help of their index number. There is a concept inside array in every programming language almost, in which what we do is we access our element. We give them a position over there, that whatever my contiguous memory location is, my first element will be at 0th index, my second item will be at 1 index, my third item will be at 2 index, my fourth item will be over there as third index. So every single time whenever I define my array in any programming language, I actually try to access the values individually using the indices only. So in this particular example that I have taken, guys, what is it that I'm going to write over there, and how am I going to write index? Should I write directly mark 0? No, I cannot write mark 0 over there, because mark 0 can be a variable name as well. We all know, in order to access a variable array, what do? We actually put square brackets, then the index number over there. So always indexing start from 0. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3 over there. So if I directly tell it over there, give me the element which is at index 2, you will see if I execute this, it displays 80 over there. So we can properly access over their element of an array individually as well. So this is what we need to understand about arrays, because later on, once you will implement your web development design, you will include these arrays inside your web development design. You would actually see that sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not necessary that we will require every element or all the elements at once. No, you would sometimes want to actually target a specific element and display that specific element inside your web page. So you should have a proper idea of indexes. Are we good until now, guys? Please put a yes or no in the chat meanwhile. Okay, so we understood this as index 0, this is index 1, this is index 2, this is index 3. We can also access an array over there using negative indices as well. So this particular element over there has -1 indices as well. So it's not just the third have -1. No, the last item inside an array over there, we have to understand that this particular array over there can have negative indices as well. We can access it as negative indices as well. So this is nothing but -1. This is going to be -2. This is going to be -3. This is going to be -4. Now, Jeet has asked over there a very important question. What is that? Why can't we start with 1? Let's try to understand that why it is 0. Like, why? If you look at the nomenclature that we have understood in our day-to-day life, we always say that our counting should start from 1. Like, this is 1 apple. Can I say this is 0 apple? No. So why does 0 start over? Why do we say the first item is at 0 index? Let's try to understand that. Okay, we all know that whenever we define our arrays, in our arrays, it is nothing but a contiguous memory location. So can I say right now, this is actually the memory locations that will be assigned to this particular array? Hana? So this is going to be 100, this is going to be 90, this is going to be 80, this is going to be 70. Okay, so these are the item values over there. Now let's suppose and let's try to understand that whenever we talk about memory, inside memory, whatever the component is, that component will have its own address as well. And let's suppose this 100 has an address which is a over there. Yes or no? Hananjit, right? So our address for this particular array marks that I am having over there is nothing but a. Let's suppose it can be any number after that. We need to understand that. Okay, so it is a, any address in which I have a marks or object stored, marks array stored. Now after that, let's try to understand one thing. This is a primitive data type. Hana? By primitive, I mean it's an integer. And integer will have its own memory as well. Like I would say, let's suppose integer overtakes n bytes. Whenever you simply create a variable where a is equals to 10, inside the memory location 10 will be created, but it will also take some number of bytes as well. And let's suppose integer over there takes n number of bytes. Okay, n bytes or n bits, whatever you will. It's a nomenclature, right? I would say n bytes. So can I say right now that this particular first item is actually on a plus 0n? This is at a plus 1n. This is going to be at a plus 2n. This is going to be at a plus 3. And can I say that, Jeet? Yes or no? Please put that in the chat if you are still here. Okay. So you can see, actually, I am saying that whenever I am storing this particular array, the first value will be on the same location in which it is stored, but the rest of the items, depending on what the size of that particular data type is going to be, it will still be actually increasing in that manner. So this is a plus 0 and a plus 1 and a plus 2 and a plus 3. And so what is it? This is nothing but its indexes. So I am right now giving it an indexes over there. Target this element using its zeroth index. Zeroth index means on a address over there. One index means on a plus one and over there. Similarly, so on and so forth. I hope that answers your question over there. Now, Akib has asked a very important question as well, which is, sir, can we store object in this array as well? You can store whatever you want. Whatever you want. You will later on see, I will show you multi-dimensional array as well. So it's completely up to you. Do you want to store numbers? Do you want to store strings? Do you want to store boolean? Do you want to store, null values? Do you want to store arrays itself, arrays in arrays? Do you want to store objects? You can do whatever. But we will do all the things in step by step. Okay, perfect. Now, since we have understood what the indexes are and how we can target it, so we all know, if I now put over there indexes 3, what does that mean? Go to the third indexes and display it in the output. So you can see it is 70, which is absolutely correct. I also told you over the negative indexes might work as well. So if I execute it over there, it should display. It says undefined, although there's a proper reason behind that as well, because we will later on see कि यहाँ पे negative indexes क्यों नहीं चलती हैं. Although negative indexes you will later on see as well, it will work. But यहाँ पे इसका proper एक reason है. I don't want you to go into inside that right now. So if I right now execute these indexes, it is properly working over there. Now let's come to the question that Akib asked. Okay, Akib did not ask about whether we can target only objects. No. The question that Akib asked was that, sir, can we put any other data apart from numbers? So let me simply go over there. Let me simply define another array over there, which is going to be names. Now, names as an array over there is ADFAR, right? Then I can say simply Akib over there like this. Then I can say over there, let's suppose who is here? Jeet. So I can say Jeet over there, so on and so forth. Is this a valid array? Of course, it's a valid array. You just need to understand over there, this array syntax is item 1, then comma item 2, then comma item 3. So these are simply items. Now this item can be any data over there, whether primitive, whether non-primitive, whatsoever. Even it can be array itself, another array inside this. It can be object as well. It can be another data as well. The only important thing is, between two items you must put a separator, which is comma I mean. Okay, perfect. Let's move a little bit forward. I hope that answers your question, Akib. Okay, so in this case, if I tell it, please print console.log names at index 2, what is it going to execute? It will execute over there Jeet, and that's absolutely correct as well, because I have only two indexed element. It works properly. Okay, let's move a little bit forward. Is it always necessary that I will have only data like item 1, item 2, right? And you can say right now it is a single dimensional array, which means only one row and multiple columns over there. Can I have multiple rows, multiple columns? The answer is of course yes. And for that we have a concept which is called a multi-dimensional array. What is it called? Multi-dimensional array. Okay, what does multi-dimensional array mean? Multi-dimensional array mean array of arrays. When we specifically talk array of arrays, that's what we mean by multi-dimensional array. So I can go over here. Let me comment this quickly. Okay, and let's suppose what I'm going to do is I'm going to define a multi-dimensional array, something like this. I will say where I'm going to say student, okay, is equals to what? Is equals to an array which is Adfar, is the first student. Second over there is, let's suppose, Akib. Okay, third student over there is G. Perfectly fine. But we also need to understand, if I right now create this array, it's exactly how I created earlier. Yes, but this time I will actually put another square bracket over there. So this particular name is going to be a separate array. So I can say array inside array over there. Yes or no? Sir, can we store string and char in a same array? First of all, Jeet, you need to understand, in JavaScript, char and string both are same. There's only one data type in JavaScript, which is string. String. There's no other data type that will actually give you any idea about chars, like whether you have to store A to B, whatever. There's only one data type, primitive data type, which is string. That's it. So, and the most important point over here, Jeet, you need to understand over here is that whenever we talk about JavaScript, JavaScript is dynamically typed. Dynamically typed. What does dynamically typed language mean? Dynamically typed language mean you don't have to specify what the data type is. It will automatically understand what actually data type is. Automatically. What does that mean? If you are from Java background, if you know what Java programming language is, you define your variables like this: int a is equals to 10, or in C, you define float b is equals to 10.25, something like this, right? Which means whatever data you are storing, you have to tell it over there what the data type is. These type of programming language in which you write what the data type is, they are called static typed languages. Static. But if you look at this particular programming language which we are talking about right now, JavaScript, when I stored 10 over there, did I told it over there, please store an integer in it? No, it will automatically understand what it is. So if I store even over there, if I go like this, if I say var a is equals to a, it will automatically understand over there what actually this data type is. Okay, I will explain that, Akib. Just give me a minute. Okay, so over here we need to understand that JavaScript is dynamically typed, automatically understand what the data type is. Okay, another very important point over that was a very good question as well. Perfect. Similarly, please raise your questions, raise your concerns, whatever your concerns are. Okay, can you please find briefly primitive and non-primitive data type? I will tell you that after I will explain this. Okay, let's try to understand one thing now. I have defined an array of arrays, right? In which adfar akib jeet. Can I put something else over there? Of course, I can put. The adfar has marks over there. Let's put 100. Akib has 99. Jeet has 98. So right now, if you look closely over there, what I am doing is I am actually storing multiple dimensional data with multiple data types as well. Is 100 pass? I will say true. It is pass. Is 99 passed? I would say again true over there, right? I would say true. So I would say true over here as well, and I will say true over as well. Is 98 passed? I would say for some time, although it is passed, I would say false. The point is not actually me creating true, false. No, the point is to make you understand whatever type of data you want to store, you can create that. You can create that. Another thing, I will put another array inside it. Another array inside it. That will say that Adfar over there is 25 years old. Okay, 25, but as a string, like this, 25 years. Second thing over there is going to be for Akib. I don't want to write string. I want to write a number. It's going to be 24. Third thing over there, for Jeet over there, I want to write over there, let's suppose 22. So what am I doing? Another point, very important, Jeet over here. If you remember, whenever you define an array over there inside Java, I'm not pretty much sure about Java, but I can tell you about JavaScript. But जितना मैंने पढ़ा है, there's a glitch in the mic. Is it still happening, MK? Please do let me know. What am I saying? I'm saying over there that whenever we talk about arrays in Java, you must store only one type of data, which means if you are storing numbers, you have to store only numbers. If you are storing characters, you have to store only characters. You cannot put number and character together in Java. Although there's a method for that as well, but at least for basic understanding, you need to understand. But that is not the case of JavaScript. Inside JavaScript, in a single array, you can store numbers as well. You can store names as well. You can store Boolean as well. You can store another array as well. You can store objects as well. Okay. Guys, is this mic issue happening with MK only, or is it happening with everyone? Please put that in the chat. Okay. If anyone else is facing the problem, then in that case, I will try to resolve it. Okay. Now let's move forward. So we have understood over there. I have taken an array of array. But इससे पहले मैं एक और चीज समझाऊंगा because that's very important. Okay, I will come back to this particular example. I have a question for all of you, and I want all of you to write a yes or no as soon as I complete this statement. If I define an array like this, where a is equals to, I'm going to say 80, okay, comma 24, then comma over there Okay, I'm going to say true. Okay, and then this is my array that I'm having, which means inside a single array I am actually creating three types of data and storing it single array. Is this allowed in Java? Please tell me that. And is it allowed in JavaScript? Please tell me that as well. You need to understand JavaScript is dynamically typed language. It's not like you can store only one type of data. No, inside a single array you can store multiple types of data as well, which is string, which is numbers, which is boolean, which is arrays itself, which is objects, whatever. So remember that. Now let me come back to this example that I was discussing about. Okay, so if I go over here, let me uncomment this quickly. Faisal, thank you so much. Okay, means a lot. Okay, perfect. Now let's move a little bit forward over there and let's try to understand how I am going to access the item. Can I say right now, and I want some yes or no. Please, I request all of you to make this session very interactive. Okay, can I say right now, this particular whole array starting from here to here, this is nothing but with respect to the outer array, it is item one. Can I say that? Yes or no? Please say that. Similarly, can I say this is nothing but with respect to the outer array, it is item 2? Can I say that? Yes or no? Similarly, with respect to outer array, can I say this is item 3? Similarly, with respect to outer array, can I say this is item 4? Yes or no? Yes or no? Come on, guys, in the chat quickly. So can I also say in that case, this is going to have index 0, this is going to have index 1, this is going to have index 2, this is going to have index 3. Which means if I tell it over there console.log, okay, console.log, what console.log, the student array that I have created, but at index 2, which means at index 2, and if you look closely over there you can see this is the index 2, which means not actually single item but whole. True, true, false. We can store same data types in Java. Very good, very good, right? So if I try to execute this particular code over there, what do you see in the output? You see true, true, false. You see the whole array. Similarly, if I try to access this particular one, you don't see a single value, but of course it is supposed to display this because whole item 2 as it index 1 with respect to the outer array. And what is outer array? Outer array is this particular student. So if I execute this, you will see properly at index 1 I have these marks, which means right now, although using the indexing method, I am able to access the data that is inside my particular array, but I am not able to access the individual data. Let's suppose I am interested in Adfar, I am interested in 24, I am interested in Jeet, I am interested in 99. The point is I am only interested in single type of data. What are you going to do? Can I simply say that right now whatsoever you are targeting, let's suppose any number over there, any item over there, let's suppose I am interested in this 99. Can I say in order to reach to this 99 you have to go to this item which is item 2 with respect to the external array? Can I also say this item 2 has index 1, which means in order to access this 99 I have to actually access this whole array first? Yes or no? Yes or no? So can I say that in order to access this whole array, I have to first of all access, in order to access this element, I have to access this whole array? Should I say that? Of course. Which means the पहला step जो मैं लूंगा इस 99 को access करने के लिए मैं पहले इसके इस पूरी array को लूंगा. So for that I have one over there. So if I execute this, you can see 199, 98. Since this is an array over there as well, so can I also say one another thing, which is this array will have its own indexes as well. So if I tell it now inside the array that I got, tell me at index 1. So row 1 में जाओ और column 1 पे जाओ. This simply means go to row 1, go open column 1 and tell me what is at the over there at that index. So in this case, if I execute this, you will properly see it says 99. Why? Because I actually understood the logic. It's a matrices right now, I can see. Okay, it is rows and columns, so I have to tell it on which row this item is, on which row it this on which column this item is. Since I hope you understood it, simply tell me. I'm not going to move forward until then. If I write 2 comma 2, what will be the output? If I write 2 comma 2 and try to execute this, what will be the output? See, the first index is over there. This index is will actually tell me row. So tell me what that is. This particular will tell me inside that row which index seed element I want. Similarly, column over there. So what will be the output over here with respect to this particular example, which is student add index 2, then add index 2. So what will be the output for this particular code if I execute this quickly, guys? Come on. Internet issue 99. So Aman is saying there's going to be 99. It would have been 99 over there, Aman. Although when indexes start from 1, but remember indexes start from 0, which means this will have 0 indexes, this will have 1 indexes, this will have 2 indexes, this will have 3 indexes. So don't compare the first row with first row. Say row first is 0 indexes. Okay, so in that case, this is going to be the second index seed array that I have. So indexes in arrays always starts from 0. And I have stated the reason for that as well, why it starts at 0. Now, if you closely look over there, this is at index 2. So it simply means this is at index 2. It simply means if I only write 2 over there, this is the array that I'm going to get. So it will be true, true, false. Now inside this, if I again write over there 2, what does that mean? That means 0, 1, 2, which eventually means it's going to display false over there. So if I check, it displays false. Am I clear, guys? Come on, am I clear? So this is how we access our multi-dimensional array. Although I will also tell you one thing with respect to JavaScript over there, multi-dimensional arrays are not that important. Sometimes you might use it, but not that important. But you should have an idea how I can access the individual items inside my multi-dimensional array. I hope that is clear. Now let's move towards our second phase of our arrays, which is to understand over there what are the array methods that actually are provided by JavaScript to us. So in this case, let's take a random array. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply take an array. But before that, I want to answer some question that Akib asked. Sir, what is the difference between primitive data types and non-primitive data types, right? Please explain briefly primitive and non-primitive type briefly. Let's try to understand one thing over here. Okay, ये अच्छे तरीके से समझते हैं इस चीज को. You might have heard later on, although that I will target in our next class as well, most probably tomorrow, but let me still give you a quick idea of it, okay? Please try to understand this. I have a variable where a is equals to 10, okay? Let's try to discuss this. Maybe if methods are for tomorrow's class, koi baat nahi, but this is one of the important concepts that you will have, okay? Please try to have a little bit focus over here. I have a is equals to 10. Very good. I will have where b is equals to 20. Where b is equals to a actually. Let me directly assign. So what am I doing? I'm simply creating an a variable in which I am storing 10. Although you already know that I am telling it 10 is a primitive data type integer. But let's try to see what happens over here. So I will console.log b over there. What do you think is going to be the output? Akib says it's going to be, no, it's something previous answer, I guess. So guys, tell me what will be the answer of this. If I simply say console.log b, of course we know that it is going to display 10. है ना? मैं यहाँ पे देख रहा हूँ 10 है. It is very good. There's a 10 proper 10 over there, right? But my question to you is, if I try to update my b now with 20, okay, or if I try to later on update a, तो क्या मेरा b भी update होगा? If I update my b, क्या मेरा a भी update होगा? If I update my a, क्या मेरा b भी update होगा? That's what my question is. Simple. So if I execute this b over here, right now you can say it says b is 20 because of course I updated my b with 20. But now if I try to print my a, do you think a is going to be 20 as well? Do you think a is going to be 20 as well? If I execute this, no. Whatever the value of a is, it is exactly that. It does not update my a. Similarly, instead of updating my b, I will update my a over here. So I am saying a is equals to 20. So do you think it is going to affect my b as well? No, I would say no. So if I execute this, you can still see b is still 10 only. And that's shown in the output as well. And everything is going to, the same thing is going to happen with all primitive data types. And you might have heard a concept in programming as well, which is called pass by value. इसी को हम कहते हैं pass by value. Yes or no? इसी को हम कहते हैं pass by value over there. Let's take another example over there. Arrays or objects, whatever you want me to take, but I have not taught objects until now inside this series, so I'm going to stick to arrays only. I'm going to say var a is equals to, let me take an array 10, comma 20, comma 30, comma 40 over here. Okay. Similarly, I will say var, let me make this arr1, which is array 1. Similarly, I'm going to say arr2 is equals to what? Arr1. I am doing exactly what I did with respect to my previous data type, which is this integer. Hana? Where a is equals to 10, where b is equals to a, where arr1 is equals to 10, 20, 30, 40, arr2 is equals to arr1. Okay. My question to all of you is, if I simply console.log my arr2, what will be the output? The output will be, of course, 10, 20, 30, 40. है ना? क्योंकि मैं इसको सिंपली बता रहा हूं arr1 को उधर पेस्ट कर दो. Very good. But now if I try to update my array 2, so I am telling it arr2 over there. At index 2, what is at index 2 inside arr2? This particular 30. Simply update this with what? With adfer. With adfer. Simply update inside my arr2 the element which is at index 2, update it with whatever it was with adfer string over there. Hana? Now my question to all of you is, if I simply print arr2, you will see adfer over there, of course. So it has updated 30 with adfer. But have I done any changes in arr1, guys? Yes or no? Have I done any changes in arr1? No, I have not done any changes in arr1. I have done changes in arr2 only. But if you closely look over there, if I tell it to console my arr1 as well, if I console my arr1 as well, execute it, the change will happen in both. यहाँ पे change दोनों में आ गई है. So although I told it to simply make a change inside only arr2, but somehow it affected my arr1 as well. And whenever this happens, it is called pass by reference. It's called pass by reference. But why is it called pass by reference? Because whenever we have these two arrays over there, arr1, it will have its address. By address, I mean reference. The reference that is pointing this value inside the memory slot. Similarly, when I create my arr2 inside arr2, it does not contain the value 10, 20, 30, 40. No, but it contains a reference of this value. This is also called indirect addressing once you will go to computer organization and architecture. So this particular thing is happening inside non-primitive data types, which is arrays and objects. And whenever we do a copy such that, like this, मैंने डायरेक्टली एक एरे को दूसरा एरे असाइन कर दिया, दिस टाइप ऑफ कंसेप्ट इनसाइड अवर जावास्क्रिप्ट इज कॉल्ड शैलो कॉपिंग. What is it called? Shallow copying. So this is the difference between primitive and non-primitive data type, that in primitive data types, if we copy, it actually copies it with pass by value. But if we directly assign in our non-primitive data types, it actually copies it with pass by reference. Is this clear, Akib and everyone? Come on. Are we clear with this particular concept? Now you might say, sir, what is the solution? I want to copy an array and store it inside another memory location, but I don't want them to have an effect on each other. For that, you will see later on solutions. Once we will move towards separate operator, but not in this short course, crash course, but later on, maybe we will launch a new course in which we will discuss JavaScript thoroughly. Okay, so this is the difference. Akib, is this clear? Please say yes or no. Please say yes or no. Okay, let's move a little bit forward. Now, our discussion, the second part of our today's discussion is, we need to understand over there array methods. There are a lot of array methods. Okay, guys, please try to understand JavaScript hugely depends on arrays. Later on, you will see whenever we talk about JavaScript में हम arrays को बहुत बार use करते हैं. Inside JavaScript, arrays, functions, and objects, they are like the very much used concepts inside our JavaScript. Now, what are the different array methods over there? What are the different array methods over there? Let's try to create an array where arr over there is equal to an array which is going to be any random array 10, 20, 30, 40, okay, comma 50 over there, so on and so forth. Perfect. Now let's suppose there are n number of items inside your array. How many number of items there are inside our array? You can see there are five. 10 is 1, 20, 30, 40, 50. There are five items total. Similarly, over there, if you want to check, let's suppose you want to check how many items there are inside single array, what you will do is you will tell it on the array, please use dot length. Tell me array dot length, inside this array what is the length that this array has. So how many items there are, that's what it's going to return. So if I execute this particular thing, it displays 5, and we already know there are 5 items over there. So similarly, if I write something like this, let's suppose random numbers, whatever, I don't know what the number of items it contains, right? So similarly, if I try to execute it right now, you will see it displays actually over there how many items there are. There are 14, and you can properly check them in the output over there as well. Perfectly fine. So this is first method that everyone uses it all the time. Like 80% of time is whenever we talk about arrays, you will see later on we will loop around it, do lot of things around it. So we will actually use this method which is called arr dot length. Okay. Now, this is the first method, okay? Since I have talked about loops, let's try to understand one thing over here, okay? A small question to all of you. Small question to all of you. Hey, designs, please, put your own name as well so that I can call you. Hi, how are you doing? So I have a small question to all of you. Let's suppose I want to access these items one by one. How am I going to access them? I can access them simply console.log arr at index 0. So if I execute, I will get first element. Similarly, if I write 1 over there, I will get my second item. But आप ये कब तक करते जाओगे? Like for how long are you going to change the indexes one by one, and then simply access it? So we got a requirement over there. And what is that requirement? That we want to access all of these values one by one. So what will I do for that? Whenever you have to perform same kind of instruction again and again, what can I say? I have to use a loop in that case. Okay. Thank you so much. Please, do one thing. Check out the entire course over there, and I'm pretty much sure you are going to enjoy this course. Okay. So please, a little bit. I would say that you will be find this course pretty much interesting. We are talking about JavaScript. Okay. Now let's suppose we have all of these values, guys, and we want to simply access them one by one, or all of them in single instance. We all know that whenever we have to execute same instruction again and again, we jump to loops, right? So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply initiate a loop, for loop. And if you remember, I have already told you the working of for loop. What is the syntax that this for loop contains, right? So the first thing is going to be I'm going to initiate a loop variable, right? So I is equals to 0. Second thing is I am going to write a condition. Now, what is a condition? What is a condition? How many times do we want over there this loop to be executed? कितनी बार हम चाहते हैं कि ये loop execute हो? Do I know? No. Do I know how many numbers are there? No. I don't know. When I see this particular array, I don't know. But I know one very method which can tell me how many items are there inside this array that you have to use inside this, so that it can give you an idea how many times this loop should execute itself. Okay. So what you can do is you can simply put over there, please execute itself until you have arr.length. So when I say arr.length, we already know what it displayed. What did it display? It displayed 14. So there are 14 items. It automatically means I am simply putting arr.length. It is nothing but 14. Let me remove this arr.length for some time. I am also going to remove all of these items for some time as well. We will create a course around that as well very soon, around Linux. Okay, we will do that. Yes, we can teach properly Linux as well, and we will very soon launch a course around that, surely. Okay, don't worry about it. Now, how many times do I want to execute this particular loop so that it can actually give me all of these values one by one? Similarly, there are 5 items, so I will simply put 5 over here. Then I will simply tell it updation, which is I plus plus. So it will simply execute this loop until this particular condition is met. I is 0. it will check whether I is less than 5 or not, which is, then it is going to execute whatever I am going to write inside this. So if I write adfer, how many times do we execute this particular code? How many times will this loop work? It will work until my I is less than 5. And every time my I is updating itself with 1. So you can see 0 to 5, which means only 5 times. So if I execute, you can see adfer 5 times in the output. Adfer. So right now, can I say, instead of printing adfer, I want you to simply print over there whatever my array value is. So if I simply say arr dot 0, what does that mean? It is going to go over there, access 10, but it will print this again and again 5 times. So if I execute it, you will see 10 being printed in the output 5 times. So let me execute this. You can see 10 in the output 5 times. But do we want to access 10? No. Inside the array, whatever the values are, I want to see all of them one by one. So in this case, I will not tell it 0, but I will tell it I. Why I? Because initially, when this loop is starting, I is 0. So in the first loop, I becomes 0. Then it will print this item. It will again go back, update my I over there. I will become 1, which means when 1 is placed over, it will print this, then 2, then 3, then 4, and 5. So if I execute this, you can properly see it says 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So right now I have actually accessed all the values from my array one by one. So I don't have to write console.log array 0, array 1, array 2, array 3, array 4, so on and so forth multiple times. But instead of that, whenever we have to traverse, इसको कहते हैं traversing through an array. So I am trying to traverse through an array values one by one. So what I will do is I will use a loop over there, which is for loop. But this time, if you look closely, I already know. When you see to this, look at this array, you can automatically see we have an array with items 5. But क्या हो सकता है ना कि ऐसा भी होगा scene that I am going to get all of an arrays over there with lot of items. There's also going to be a possibility that my array is going to have n number of items, which I don't know how many items it has. Yes or no? So what can I do? I am copy pasting wrong thing. So let me copy it again. So let me copy this. Let me simply paste it, paste it, paste it. So I know right now, although I can properly count the number of elements inside an array, but it will be a lot of work to do. Count it individually. So in this case, what am I going to do? I am going to tell it, no, don't execute 5 times, because if I execute it 5 times, it is going to print only first 5 values. But are there only 5 values? No, there are multiple values over there. अब देखो यहाँ पे 20 values हैं. But do I know there are 20 values? No. If I look first, I don't know. So I have to find a way with which it will automatically see. Does not matter how many items there are inside a single array, but it should traverse loop through every single item over there, irrespective of whatever the size of an array is. And we already know there is a method that we have discussed over there inside our arrays, with which we can actually get how many items there are inside a single array. So I will simply tell it, instead of making my condition less than 5, because I already knew it's going to be less than 5, I will tell it arr dot length over there. Arr dot length. So if I right now execute, you can see all of the values starting from 0 to end, all of them are right now getting displayed in the output over there. So this is how you can traverse through an array. Okay, we are definitely going to have a course on Git as well. You will see on this LaMiCons channel, we will launch a series of courses, okay, for all of your benefit. Whether that is HTML, whether that is CSS, whether that is Java, whether that is Python, whether that is JavaScript again, okay. So we will try to Linux as well, Git as well. We will try to cover a lot of courses, because that's our agenda. We want to actually, actually teach lot of people lot of skills. It's not like you have to focus on every skill. No, you have to just focus on one skill. But जो यहाँ पे आएगा फ्री में पढ़ेगा अच्छे से, we will launch these courses very often. In every month, you will see at least 3 or 4 courses, 2 or 3 courses every single month. So please and please subscribe this channel as well. Okay, please and please subscribe this channel so that you can get very soon new courses as well, because that's what console does. Why it's printing the next automatically? What do if we want in the same line? See, you need to understand over there, Akib, Whenever we talk about this console.log is a statement that's going to give you in the new line. In the same line, I might have to check a method for that. Okay, I will see if there is. I don't think there is, but maybe there can be as well. I will look into that method and will tell you as well. Okay, now this is how we can traverse through an array. Okay, now let's do two more methods, and then we will wind up our today's class, and rest of the methods will be discussed in on Saturday. Okay, let me create an array where arr, which is values, which contains values 10, comma 20, comma 30, comma 40, comma 50, comma 60, whatever the values are. What I want is, I want to perform some operation. आप लोगों को पता होगा that let's suppose this is a bucket, okay, or it's a shelf on which I have simply books, book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4. So this is my 10 number, this is 20, this is 30, this is 40, this is 50. So this is a bucket in which I'm storing all of these numbers, the numbers that I have over here. From this bucket, let's suppose what I want is, I want to take a number out. What is the first number that you will take? The last number, in this case 60, but let me put another number over there, which is going to be 60. So if I want to take a number out of it, of course you will take 60. And whenever you want to simply take that number inside your JavaScript, which is stored at the end of the array, at the last index, what you will do is, you will simply use a method over there which is called pop. So इसको हम pop कहते हैं. So if you simply call this method array.pop, pop is simply going to remove the last element from our array that I have. So if I execute this, the new array will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Although my original array contains 6 values, but you can see right now it contains only 5 values. Why? Because I have used pop. And pop can only remove only one item. There is another method with which we can remove whatsoever elements we want, all the items, only 2, only 4, doesn't matter. But when we talk about pop method, it will always and always return the last element and remove the element from the array. Okay, now since we have understood that from this bucket I can remove the last element, but there's a huge possibility as well that on the bucket नीचे तो मैं add, at least right now let's try to understand this analogy, that मैं नहीं चाहता हूं कि मैं नीचे से कुछ ऐड करूं या बीच में कुछ ऐड करूं, नहीं. I want to simply perform operations as of now only from one side of this bucket. So what will I do? इसको remove करने के लिए I have a method which is pop. बट इसमें ऐड करने के लिए आई मस्ट हैव अ मेथड एज वेल. बट ऐड करने के लिए इज देयर एनी लिमिट टू एक्चुअली स्पेसिफाई वेदर आई कैन ऐड ओनली वन आइटम? नो, आप कितने भी चाहो आप ऐड कर सकते हो. इट्स कंप्लीटली अप टू यू. एंड इन ऑर्डर टू ऐड आइटम्स एट द एंड ऑफ एन array, that to multiple or single, we have a method over there which is called push. So I will simply write arr.push, but we must now tell it what is the item that I want you to push inside the array. What is the item I want you to push? Let's suppose I want to push adfar. Okay, so if I write now console now array over there, you can properly see after 50 there's adfar now. So if you see 50 adfar, does it allow me to only push one item? No, I can push multiple items. So I can say over there 4, I can say over there true as well, I can say over there G as well. So it's completely up to me how many items I want to push at the end. So if I execute this, you can properly see it says 10, 20, 30, 40, and whatever I pushed into this array, it actually gave me that elements over there in the output. So this was about today's class. Now I have one thing to share, and then we will wind up our today's class. In our next class, we will probably be discussing about more array methods inside this course. Okay, and there are going to be lot of courses that we are going to launch on this YouTube channel. Okay, and that is the agenda that we have at LaMiCons. We want to give this generation skills that you actually need so that you can get a better placement when you are maybe coming up or out of your colleges, because ultimately we have understood and we can agree to that point that you need to understand skills are what matters. It is not what you learn in your colleges. Trust me, it's not what degree you are doing. Even if you are from non-tech background but you have skills, you will be properly placed. You can get a proper placement. Okay, so try to practice, try to see what are the skills currently in demand. There's full stack development which is currently in demand, there's data science which is currently in demand, there's artificial intelligence which is currently in demand. So try to learn these skills, learn about them, and I will make sure that from this LaMiCons channel, from this medium, we will try to give you maximum content we can. Okay, so that is what we can do. So very soon we will launch few more series, maybe related to Java, HTML, CSS, Python, Linux, and Git, and so on and so forth. But we will do that for sure. So I hope you have enjoyed this session. Please give me the feedback, of today's session in the chat. Come on, guys. Learn something new. Are we good with arrays? Git, we will discuss. Okay, surely. Come on, guys. Please give me a feedback, quick feedback in the chat. I can see there are some people. Great session. Perfect. Great. Wonderful. So there's going to be a next session on Saturday, and please share this video with your friends, okay, so that they can get a little bit help related to arrays as well, okay? So I hope you have understood. Thank you so much for joining this session, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Bye, everyone. See you very soon. Bye. Good night. Bye.